how's everyone doing? Look, let's talk about this. What is this? This is called the caveman posture. We've all seen it, shoulders rolling. Probably not as bad as this, to be fair, but they've definitely got slight, what's called an internal rotation of the shoulder joint. And just in general, poor posture. It definitely comes from working in an office all day, sort of hunched over a computer. And what can happen and what is happening is basically a tightening of your anterior muscles here and a stretching of your posterior muscles, just your front and back, right? So the front muscles are tight, back muscles are loose. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stretch the front and tighten the back. So we do the reverse. First of all, nice and easy, I want you to start in this pronounced curved position, and then I'm just going to get you to take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe in, you bring in the shoulders back, and the way to do that is to bring the shoulder blades together, push the chest forward, and then just hold that position. Drop the hands down to the sides, hold that position there for about 10 seconds. I want you to really squeeze the muscles in the back, and then just drop the arms down, and then come back up again. I want you to continue breathing through that movement, keeping the muscles nice and tight back there. And then relax as you breathe out. I want you to go through that about 4 or 5 times. Very simple and basic movement just to start off, and the breathing is very important. As you can see with this posture, I'm actually tightening up my lung capacity. Okay, so by doing this and opening up the chest and opening up the breathing, you're actually allowing more oxygen to get into your body. So try that, give that like 5 goes, 10 seconds on each of the external rotations of the shoulders and that what's called a scapular retraction. Big fancy word, but essentially just squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then next we're gonna get onto the shoulder joint. All right, so pause this video, give it a try, and we'll be back in a sec. You guys should all be like this now, right? I'm guessing you're all like this. No. Okay, so yeah, that's the first part of it, and that is about tightening and activating these back muscles, right? And they're just gonna pull the shoulder blades back. Once you feel like you're comfortable up in this position, and it may take a bit of time, you may need to, do a little bit more than 4 or 5 sets, but once you feel like you can be in this comfortable upright position and you can point the thumbs sort of forward, and we're encouraging this external rotation of that shoulder joint, I want you to do a very simple warming of the shoulder joint. So bringing the arms up and around, and remember breathing, breathe in, and the arms come around, and again breathe in, and then I want to change direction, so bring them around. And you might find there's a few cracks in your shoulders when you're doing this. And the idea really is to get those cracks out. The idea is to really slowly get through, push through those little cracks and those little bit of tight and those little tight spots, and really warm the shoulder joint up, because we're going to be doing a few movements next that's going to need these shoulder joints to be warm and loose. All right, so you do that about 4 or 5 times each direction. Then with the neck, you're just going to bring your ear to your shoulder on each side, so stretching out that neck muscle. A lot of tension gets built up here with just stress, and just with that bad posture as well can also lead to a lot of tension. So you may need a bit longer with this. You can just pause the video and take a bit more time on this movement. Then I want you to bring your chin down towards the chest, and then coming back up again. So that's with the neck, and the shoulders are warm. Now we're going to do what's called IYWTs. So the reason why they're called that is because up here you're doing the I, out here you're doing the Y. You bring the elbows into the ribs for the W, and then you bring the arms out for the T, and you want to face the palms downwards. Alright, so we're coming back in for the W, we're doing reverse now, go up to the Y, and then go into the T. Now, I want this to be done with a lot of tensing of the back muscles. Yeah, we need the activation of your back muscles, we need the shoulder blades squeezed together. So here, there, and there is no good. Alright, we want to be here, standing up nice and tall, nice and strong. Again, breathing's important. bringing the elbows in, and this part here is when you're gonna really need to tense those back muscles, and then bringing it out for the T, and then coming back in, and then arms up for the Y, and then over to the I. And I want you to do that again about 4 or 5 times, through from the I down to the T, and then back up again to the I. What I don't want you to do is the YMCA, because that isn't going to work for us, all right? So give that a try. Again, pause the video, press play when you're ready, and we'll get into the next exercise. Okay guys, good. So we've covered tightening the muscles in the back area, loosening up the shoulder joint, and now we're going to focus on the stretching of our pectoral muscles, or our front muscles here. And what you may need for this, or what you are going to need for this, is a stick, broomstick, a mop stick. If you've just got a bar hanging around anywhere, this will do it. What we're going to do with this, hold it out. You want it really as wide as possible. The wider it is, the easier it is. And you're just going to bring the bar up, keeping the elbows locked out and behind the body. So you're bringing it up and over and behind the body. Now my shoulder joints are quite mobile, so I'm able to do this quite easy. You may not feel the same way, so just take your time with it. The wider your hands are, the easier it is. What I want you to do, if you find that really easy, is to bring the hands in a little bit more, and again bring in the arms back. Now automatically you should feel a massive stretch across here, and you may also feel a pinching in your shoulder joints. If it's too much for you, I would say go back to the second exercise that we were doing, where we're going into the IYTWs and also the warming of the shoulder joint, and then get back into this. It is really about taking it in stages. All right, so you want to complete the first stage, then go on to the second, and then move on to this one. So if you're okay with that, what I want you to do is find the hand position where you're comfortable in the shoulders, getting the bar back, but still feeling the tightness in the pec muscles there. Because what we're trying to do is really stretch those pecs out. So you're bringing it all the way back there, and I'm going to get you to hold it for about 10 seconds, and we are again breathing in through the nostrils and out through the mouth. Now what should happen once you've held that stretch for about 5 to 10 seconds is actually you can squeeze it back just a little bit more. Your muscles are going to allow you to just stretch out a little bit more, and again, deep breaths. And then bring it back over. Next exercise that you can use for this is going to help your shoulder joint, but also very important, you have a muscle under here called your Serratus Anterior, another fancy name. It's basically a row of muscles, what look like ribs poking out. They're actually a muscle called the Serratus Anterior, and what they do is they help pull the shoulder blade down and flush with the back of your rib cage. And we want to basically work on activating that muscle, because that's another weakness that people have, and when they get to start doing some training, they find that they can't get their form right in certain movements, they start to get pain in certain movements, and their shoulder mobility isn't as good. So what we're going to do is get this into what's called a rack position, and you're just going to try loosen the hands and get the elbows up as high as possible. Right now, this, as I've practiced for quite a while doing this movement, it's quite easy for me to get the elbows up and this bar still have contact with the front of my shoulders. So you may find that this position is as far as you can take it. And if that is the case, all you're going to do is just bring the one elbow up as high as you can, and then change and bring the other elbow up as high as you can. Switch sides again, remember that breathing. And hopefully through practice of that, you should be able to then get your elbows up a lot higher. And again, what that means is that your Serratus Anterior is helping pull the shoulder blades into the back of the rib cage, and you've got a lot more shoulder mobility. All right, so give that a try, and I'll see you back